Hi, I'm Marc Childs from Childs Davidson. Welcome to our video series on FMCG issues. Well, we're back here talking about Woolworths again, and I think deservedly so. Woolworths is one of the most dominant retailers in the world, and they deserve the scrutiny that they get. They're back in the news because the ACCC is prosecuting them for unconscionable conduct. I must commend the ACCC for taking this action. It follows similar action in 2014 against Coles, where there were quite a few similarities in the case that they presented. One could hope that the ACCC might have gone after them for abuse of market power, but apparently that's a much tougher charge to prosecute, partly because you have to demonstrate that the retailer has market dominance. I'm critical of the legislation here because in Australia, like in many countries, market dominance, or the hurdle for market dominance, is defined as something like 40% market share. And suppliers know that this is ridiculous, that a retailer with as little as, say, 20%, even 15% market share, has considerable market power. What Woolworths faces is unconscionable conduct because of the way it's alleged to have abused its position with suppliers. So what do I mean by abuse? Well, I'm on record as having said that in general, large retailers abuse their position in two major ways. One is by aggressive, orchestrated negotiating campaigns that bully suppliers to hand over money without getting anything in return for it. That might provide an opportunity for the really big manufacturers to be able to gain some kind of point of sale advantage, but for many of the smaller suppliers, there is no opportunity for that, and it's just a tax on their profit line. The other is that major retailers, because of their continuing focus on trying to replace brands with private label, abuse their position by giving their brands prominent position within their stores. Woolworths senior management, in their wisdom, have decided to fight this one. I was really amused to read some of the commentary of witnesses in the case, executives and ex-executives from Woolworths, such as Alex Dower, making claims that the Mind the Gap campaign was perfectly normal. Now, we agree it's perfectly normal, but what they seem to miss is the fact that it could be normal and unconscionable. It's particularly interesting to hear such claims being made when we're in the thick of the process of implementing the new industry code of conduct, whose principles specifically would say that asking for money for nothing is not really very kosher. The fact is that non-contractual extra payments are the very thing that the code is against. It wouldn't surprise anyone to learn, therefore, that Woolworths has actually been very sluggish in the process of establishing grocery supplier agreements with its supplier base. What's not so amusing in this case is the suggestion that there was no coercion involved and that in any case, a product that's delisted could easily be obtained by consumers at another retailer's. Let's just debunk some of that. Every supplier knows that retailers have the power to take punitive action. Every supplier knows perfectly well a suggestion that a refusal to comply would attract escalation, quote unquote, to higher levels of management, and exactly what that's likely to mean. It's nonsense to say that if you're delisted in Woolworths, you can make up that volume because consumers are going to go to Coles and other retailers to buy the product. It's nonsense to be saying that. It's devastating to a supplier to lose distribution through a retailer as large and dominant as Woolworths or Coles. I've seen sales directors lose their jobs over losing such distribution. Let me just say in closing, I'm shooting this video while the case is live, and of course I can't anticipate what the outcome will be. I do think, though, that the commentary expressed here will remain relevant in our industry. Woolworths, like other major retailers, occupy a special position of trust in our community. Whether it's 40% market share, and Woolworths is certainly very close to that, or whether it's 20% or 15% or even 10%. Every retailer has a special responsibility to play a role offering services to consumers and an access to the marketplace for suppliers. Unfortunately, too often they abuse that position and justify it, as we're hearing in this current case, in terms of it's perfectly reasonable because we're here to make a profit. I hope that such abuse is prosecuted under the full force of the law. My only hope, in addition to that, is that this time around, some of the individuals who have been involved in this are also held to account. I hope you've found this video useful, and I'd encourage you to take a look at the other videos on this channel. And hit the subscribe button and make sure you don't miss out on future editions. We'd also welcome your comments. This is one of 2 complimentary services we provide to the industry. The other is a weekly newsletter where we scour the industry news globally and provide it to you in précis form every Monday morning. If you follow the link in the description below, you can subscribe. This is Marc Childs from Childs Davidson. Thank you for watching.